herzlich willkommen zu dieser neuen Podcast-Folge. Ich freue mich wirklich sehr, dass du da bist, denn das ist eine ganz besondere Folge. Denn ich habe jemanden zu Gast, der für mich einen sehr besonderen Stellenwert hat, und zwar Kristen. Kristen ist diejenige, mit der ich schon im letzten Jahr auf dem Kilimandscharo war, selber privat 2019 das erste Mal auf dem Kilimandscharo war und die eben auch die Magic Mountain Mission 2024 mit mir machen wird. Und sie ist eine wirklich faszinierende Person, die so driven ist, wenn es darum geht, Dinge umzusetzen, eine große Vision zu haben, sich nicht von Hindernissen aufhalten zu lassen. Und tatsächlich ist es einfach so, dass sie, nachdem sie selber das erste Mal auf dem Kilimandscharo war, hat sie, als sie zurückgekommen ist, mit ihrem Business-Partner Kevin zusammen nicht nur K2 Adventure Travel gegründet, um mehr Menschen diese Chance zu geben, dieses unglaubliche Abenteuer zu erleben, sondern sie hat auch K2 Adventures Foundation gegründet, eine Non-Profit-Organisation, die insbesondere Kindern weltweit hilft. Und diese Frau ist ein absolutes Powerhaus. Nicht aufzuhalten, wenn sie sich was in den Kopf gesetzt hat. Und ich freue mich wirklich so, so sehr, dass uns beide diese gemeinsame Mission vereint, dir die Chance zu geben, über solche Abenteuer, über dich selbst hinauszuwachsen, dich ganz neu kennenzulernen und all das, was du eben auf so einem Abenteuer über dich und über das Leben und über andere erfährst und dann auf so einer ganz anderen Ebene integrierst, das dann eben mit nach Hause zu nehmen. Und insofern freu dich auf ein wunderschönes Interview, wo wahrscheinlich Kristen dich auch anstecken wird mit ihrem unfassbaren Optimismus und Tatendrang. Hello, Kristen. It's so good to have you back on the podcast, because last time it was September 2021 when you were a guest at Wagemutig. So welcome back.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah, very good. So, as people don't know you, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you climbed Kili for the first time? What made you climb Kili?
So, as Anika said, my name is Kristen. I am living in the United States, and when I was approached about climbing Kilimandjaro for the first time, it was back in 2009. And a gentleman named Kevin asked me to be a guide for a woman who was blind. And he needed a sighted guide to help this woman climb Kilimandjaro with a team that would be the largest blind team ever to make the summit of Mount Kilimandjaro. So we had 8 blind individuals as well as 16 sighted guides on this team. And I was one of the sighted guides that was asked to help with this particular woman to get her to the summit. And always being of service and always working in the nonprofit world, for me, it sounded like just a great opportunity. It sounded like fun. I had never done anything like this in my entire life. So I knew that I had to get my butt in gear and learn, all the different things that I needed to learn. And I had to do it very quickly because I only had 52 days to get ready to go, where everybody else on the team had over a year that they had been training for this particular hike. When I was approached, it was 52 days away from leaving to go to Africa. And it just sounded incredible to me. So I said, yep, count me in, and changed my life.
Oh, amazing. And how did it change your life?
Well, Kevin set up an opportunity for all of us that not only were we going to go to Tanzania and climb Mount Kilimandjaro with 8 blind individuals and break 4 world records, but he also gave us the opportunity to go into an orphanage at the time that served 25 blind individuals living in Tanzania. That orphanage now has 75 blind individuals living on property, but it was powerful to go into another country and see how individuals that were blind were treated compared to blind individuals in the United States. And it opened my eyes to third world country and being of service in a third world country. So climbing Kilimandjaro was magical and I loved it. And it was absolutely the greatest thing I've ever done. It literally, changed my whole trajectory of where I am today. But it was being in the orphanage that actually made me say, you know what, I need to go back. And here I am 14 years later, and I've been on the summit of Kilimandjaro 25 times. And I have my own orphanage now in Tanzania that I run with our foundation, K2 Adventures Foundation. And, opportunities are just endless when you open your eyes to change.
Yeah, I know the story, but it's still so, incredible to me. And so I wanted to ask you, but you already said it now, that you climbed Kili since then 25 times. So you hold a world record, right? There's no other woman in the world who climbed Kili like more often than you did.
So based on what the National Park Service in Tanzania has said, there are no other women in the world that have ever climbed Kilimandjaro more than I have to the summit. I do hold the world record right now for most summits on Kilimandjaro. That is correct. That's
incredible. So I'm so honored that I have you as my business partner for Magic Mountain Mission. I could think of even if you wouldn't have climbed it 25 times, you would be the best partner. But 25 times is really incredible. So, you just said a little bit like it was Kili, and then it was also the orphanage and being of service. So, can you tell us a little bit more about? For one, what's the magic of climbing Kili? Because I know, I climbed Kili only 2 times. And even the second time, people told me like, okay, but you did it once. Why are you doing it again? Because you already know how it is. You've already been to the summit. Why would you do it again? But this is not about me, it's about you. So can you tell us a little bit, why do you climb this mountain 25 times? Because, you know the mountain, you know what happens, you know every camp, you know every wooden piece and what's on the mountain. Yeah, what's the magic of climbing this mountain so many times?
I go back to that every single year. It's the people. It's 100% the people. And I would live in Africa if I could. I can't because I have a husband and 4 kids, and I can't live there, but I certainly can relocate there for all of June and July, which I do every year, because the people in Tanzania are magical. They're kind, they're gracious, they're warm, they're loving, and they treat you with so much respect. And the reason why I go back is because I love seeing our men. We've had the same crew for 15 years. We've worked with the same guides, the same assistant guides, the same cooks, the same assistant cooks, the same tent crew, the same toilet crew. All of our guides are the same men that we have watched over the last 15 years change their life because of K2 and our team and the people that we work with. Not only do they guide for us, but we've made friendships with them, and we know their families and we know their kids, and we are all one when we're on the mountain. Our teams are like no other team you'll ever be with on the mountain because we do things so differently. So it's the people, 100%. It's the people, and I will go back until I can't hike anymore because it's where I feel my heart is. And in the summer, that's where my heart is.
Yeah. And the other aspect is can you tell us a little bit more about because now you not only have this orphanage that you help, but you also have help the school and the local hospital. And so there are so many projects in Tanzania you run. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because that's, I would believe, is also a huge part why you come back every year.
So we run a nonprofit organization in tandem with our travel company. And the orphanage is part of our nonprofit. So anyone that travels with us, as you're aware, they don't only get to climb Mount Kilimandjaro, but they also get to serve in a third world country, being of service to children that have been abandoned, neglected, kind of just lost. And we've taken those children on and we've made those children part of who we are and what we do. And so now when a person travels with us, they get to experience the same thing that I experienced when I went the very first time in 2009, but they actually get to do it from a different perspective because we own the orphanage. So you get to be in our orphanage called Summit Happy Home. You get to work with our kids. We have 10 beautiful children between the ages now of 3 years old to 11 years old. We have 6 boys, 4 girls, and you get to see them from where they were originally when we found them to where they are today. They're all in private school. They're all eating 3 meals a day. They all have beautiful clothes. They live in a brand new house. They have caregivers that love them and read them stories every night. And it's just everything about it is just really and truly magical to be able to serve in a third world country. We also partner with a hospital called NSK Hospital for those of you that are interested in any type of medical service. We have a prosthetic center that we built. It's called the K2 Prosthetic Center, where we have now allowed 68 individuals to walk again, given them an opportunity that they may not have ever had. We have about 450 more people that we have to outfit with new legs, and that's going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years. So when you're there, you absolutely have the opportunity to see us fit a person with a brand new leg. They come in our clinic and 2 hours later, they walk out of our clinic with their new leg. We've been able to bring a lot of technology into their country because they're not familiar with a lot of the things that are so easily and readily available to us.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Everything about the service part of it is equally as important as the climb.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. And then I also wanted to ask you, because Magic Mountain Mission next year is all about female leadership. So that's like the topic of Magic Mountain Mission next year. Because I know from my experience that once you've been on this mountain, you will lead, like I led differently, and you will lead differently. You will lead different your business, your teams, your customers, relationships. And is this something you would agree to? Is there like how do you say that? Is there a big leadership lesson that you learn on the mountain?
Oh, 100%. I believe without a doubt that you cannot climb Mount Kilimandjaro and have an experience like Magic Mountain Mission and not have leadership be one of the most important facets of this experience. You will see leadership every single day that you're there, not only from the perspective of how we work and organize our men to, for every person that climbs Kilimanjaro, there's 3 men that are part of your assistance. So if we have 10 people on the mountain, we have a crew of 30. So we now have to manage 30 additional individuals in addition to the 10 that we're climbing with. And to see leadership firsthand is all about communication, working together, being a part of a team, bringing your lessons to the table at the end of the day, and being able to express what you felt during that day, ask questions about, why those decisions were made, and then possibly about changes that you would make if something were done differently. So I think that leadership is 100% a part of this, no matter how you look at it or how the perspective is. Any adventure that you do like this, you're going to become a better leader. It will bring back lessons into your private life and your personal life and your business. It's going to happen. And I believe without a doubt, it'll be changed for the positive.
Yeah. And I think what really makes it special is that it's something you really get to experience. It's not like sitting in a seminar room and hearing something theoretically, but it's like you get to experience it every day, and you get to experience this when you lead your team. And as you said, it's a huge team. It's not just like 10 people. It's like, what was it last time? It was over 100 people, right?
We were over 100 people, and it was flawless. It's all about management. It's all about how you work together, and it's all about how you communicate with individuals. It doesn't matter if an individual is a client or if it's a person that works for you. It's respect, and it's how you treat a person with respect. And, respect breeds respect. And I think that what we have in our dynamics is that you're going to have power in the people that are working together, from the top all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, proof of that is that, as you said, like the people who work for you, for years, right? You don't have like people that people come and go. I mean, once people are in your team, they want to stay.
Well, I think consistency is a big part of success. And I do agree with that. And long-term relationships are a big part of success. But also being loyal is a big part of success. And we are all of those things because we are faithful to our men and loyal to our men. And we love them. We truly love them and their families.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really special to see that, because I mean, you can see it from the moment you arrive in Tanzania that this is like really a big, huge family, and it's not just a business; it's more than that, and I think that's truly special. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So, what else would you say? Do you have like one big other lesson you learned in Tanzania, on the mountain or at the orphanage or doing all the charity work? Is there something you would say that had a really, really big impact on me and my life?
Trust your gut, I think, is the most important thing, because I was not a mountain climber. I was definitely not someone who ever slept in a tent. I never had to go to the bathroom outside. I never had to do any of those things. And I was asked to do something that was a little outside of my comfort zone. And it was the best decision of my life. And I changed my entire life after that climb in 2009. I came back to the United States. I sat down with my business partner, Kevin, and we built a company. And I know without a doubt, it was the best thing I've ever done. And here I am 14 years later, guiding teams every year, taking responsibility for people every year, and knowing that this will change your life. So I would say the most important thing is go outside your comfort zone if you can. Do something big and see how it impacts you. And allow your body, your mind, your soul to totally accept the new adventure, and bring back the lessons that you learn and implement them into your life. And you'll be successful. I certainly have been, because of the things that I've done. And I know that I wouldn't have done it if somebody didn't say to me, just try it. It would be good to try it and see how it goes. And I said, okay. And it was that day that I said, okay, that literally changed my life.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Because it's similar to my story. I mean, not that I built an orphanage and all that, but like really trusting my gut to climb this mountain. Because as you said, I mean, it's a similar story. I've never slept in a tent. I never peed outside. I'm not a like an outdoor person at all. But it felt like, okay, I don't know why, but I have to go there. I have to climb this mountain. It's never been on any bucket list, but let's do this. And it was way, I couldn't have imagined, like, how do you say that? Couldn't imagine before how much of an impact this this journey would have. Yeah. So it's really special. So if someone listens and wants to be part of Magic Mountain Mission 2024, which we will climb in June next year, what is your advice on, let's say, training, preparation, and all that? Because I mean, maybe you also want to share your age, because it's not that you are 28, and so maybe that helps if somebody thinks about climbing Kili and is a bit unsure if she is fit enough to do this.
So here's what I'll say to that. I'm 53 years old. I've climbed Kili 25 times. This will be my 26th climb when I guide this team with you guys. And my training looks something like this. I hike Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, anywhere from an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. And I go to Pilates every Tuesday and Thursday for about an hour. That's my regular routine. And outside of that regular routine, I will tell you, as I get to about a month before my actual climb on Kilimandscharo, I'll up my level of hiking a little bit more than that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I might go Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and add it to make my schedule a little bit harder. But it's not a hard mountain to climb. It's a mental mountain to climb. You have to wrap your head around the fact that you're going to sleep in a tent for 6 nights and you're going to climb for 7 days. It's not technical. It's all about the journey, and it's about being a part of something greater than yourself. And I'm not going to tell you it's a hard mountain to climb. It's not. It's a mountain that anybody can climb, as long as they are not reading anything on the internet, as long as they are not letting people put images in their head, as long as they're not listening to outside resources. I will tell you this. I have never worn an oxygen mask. I have never once trained with an oxygen mask. I don't worry about high altitude mountain conditions, because we can fix almost any issue that you have if you start to have issues with altitude. You need to get your body physically ready, mentally ready, and emotionally ready for a journey. That's what it is. If you look at the statistics online, you'll see that only 40% of every individual that steps foot on that mountain will make the summit. That is industry standard. Our clients, we've led over 2,000 clients in 14 years. We have a 96% success rate of people making it to the summit. They are healthy, they are safe, they have an enjoyable experience, they have proper food and nutrition, they have every single accommodation made for them, because we do not guide our teams like any other company in the entire industry. We do that for a reason, for your success, for your safety, and for your experience to be absolutely positive when you come off the mountain. So training wise, get outside and start moving. Walk on a treadmill, walk on a stair stepper, climb stairs in your office buildings, in your apartment complexes. Just walk, just move, get your body going, and incorporate some fitness training. Get your legs and your butts in really good shape. That's all about climbing Kilimandscharo. That's it. Don't read about any of the other stuff you see online. I'll send you a training plan, follow it. I'll send you a packing list, follow it. I'll send you medical forms, be honest on them. Tell me everything that I need to know, so that when I read your medical forms, if there's a situation I need to address, I absolutely will address it. I'm a medical first responder. I am trained to treat you on the mountain. If there is a situation that you guys are dealing with, I am right there to help you and support you. So let all of those emotions and feelings and nervousness completely go. Let them go. You're in the best hands. And once you let go of all of that, the rest is just a beautiful process.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so similar to other big goals you might have. right? Because sometimes it's like you have this intuitive hit, like, okay, I want to do this, I want to try this. And then you start reading on the internet or you start talking to people, and then they try to talk you out of it because they have their own fears. And then you question yourself, and then maybe you don't do it. So, and this is similar, I would say. If you feel like, okay, this could really be a great adventure, and this could be something out of my comfort zone, this could be something where I could like grow, then follow it, I would say. Because like you said, you are in the best hands. I could think of no one better to guide you than Kristen and her team. And it will be a women's only team, not the guides, but Kristen and your guides will be like your people from K2 will be women. So, and that's also special because last time they said like there's no other like women's only team that has so many people in it, right?
Well, and it's fun because
it's really
fun. when you're a big group of women and you're sitting around at the end of the day after you've hiked for 6 hours to sit in a private tent and have popcorn and tea and be able to laugh about the day and cry about things that you've left behind and emotions that you've felt. It's a big release, and it's a safe environment where you get to just be yourself. There's no judgment. There's no unkind attitudes. There's no negativity. We don't act like that. We're very good with working together and being a part of something greater than we've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
You know how I guide a team. I guide a team with respect.
I know.
And, I think a lot of people leave our trips and they come home and they say, wow, maybe I need to implement that into my business, or maybe I need to implement that into my life, or maybe I need to be a little more kind with certain things that would typically push me over the edge. You just look at things differently after you've been on a trip like this.
Yeah, with others and also with yourself, I would say. I
Agreed.
think the lesson is also like maybe I should be a bit kinder with myself and not just listen to everything I tell myself, and just do one step after another, and then I'll reach the top. So that's also, I think, a huge lesson. Yeah.
Start visualizing yourself at the top now, because if you visualize yourself at the top now, you'll be there.
Yeah. That's what we are going to do in the preparation calls, for example. Because like you said, it's mental, emotional, and physical preparation. And that makes it also really special, I believe, because it's the combination. It's not just mental preparation, and it's not just physical preparation. It's like the combination that makes it truly, truly special.
I agree.
Thank you so much, Kristen. Is there anything else you want to tell, like, all the ladies who are listening and who maybe think a bit more about climbing Kili next year?
Just do it. It'll change your life. And I look forward to meeting all of the new women that'll be on this team. It's going to be an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you so much. I'll see you next June. I'm really looking forward to it. And have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Bye.
Bye.
So, meine Liebe, this is it. Magic Mountain Mission 2024. Deine Reise, wenn du wirklich bereit bist, mal etwas außerhalb deiner Komfortzone zu machen und darüber dich auf eine Art und Weise zu erleben und wirklich Erfahrungen zu machen, Lessons zu generieren, die du mit nach Hause nimmst, die dich, dein Business, deine Beziehungen, wie du mit Kunden arbeitest, wie du Erfolg siehst, quasi alles verändern wird. Und ich bin auch ehrlicherweise schon stolz, sagen zu können, dass es sowas so in der Coaching-Industrie nicht gibt. Es gibt niemand und insbesondere keine Frau, die ein Women's-Only-Team auf den Kilimandscharo mitnimmt. Und das verbindet mit einem Programm, das dich nochmal mehr darin empowert, mental, emotional und eben auch physisch über dich hinauszuwachsen und einfach mal zu sehen und zu erleben und zu spüren, was du eigentlich alles kannst und wie wenig du davon vielleicht bis gestern dir zugetraut hast. Also insofern nutzt die Chance. Es ist einmalig. Es ist wirklich einmalig. Du kannst den Clarity Call über meine Seite buchen und ich freue mich sehr, wenn du dabei bist.